fault with the signalling system. Please note, mind the gap.
Calling at Northampton, Long Rugby, Coventry. They may be removed without notice. Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
Just as I start filming, I get all these trees on the train. Got up too early. And the train was delayed. I wish me waking up was delayed. I'm not sleepy, but I probably should be and probably will be later, which is going to be fun. Yeah. Here we are. So yeah, we're in Coventry. Gonna head to the St. John's Church. Let's see if we can get a map first. Okay, we're at Greyfriars Green. And that's a horse which has a name like the Bucephalus or something, which is a fun name. The Coventry Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, erected in memory of Caroline Bray, who founded the above society in 1878. So this is the monument to James Starley. I actually don't know who it is, to be honest, like anything about him, but I'll find it out later. Oh wow. Inventor of the bicycle.
No way.
And there's some bikes. It's cool. It's missing a nose. There's a bike. There's maybe when he was born, well, probably when he died. There's a bike again.
Is that the church over there?
No, I think that's Coventry Cathedral.
Oh.
So, that maybe suggests things are closer together than I thought they would be. So, there is St. John the Baptist Church. So, that's where we're heading, and I contacted them because they weren't open and said, hey, can we go there anyway, even though you're not open? They said, sure, and we'll even give you a little tour, which is great. I will say, I can see now why Coventry isn't considered like super pretty, because it's very industrial, but, you know, it's real England.
What they call the vestry.
Yeah.
This is where the servers and the choir would kind of dress themselves before the mass.
Wow.
So what made you select this church then?
Well, obviously we're interested in the Coventry Cathedral as well. But I think, well, it just looked really pretty. I think we were kind of just looking around for places to visit.
Well, we get painters and we get what we call scribblers. And they love the light. But it's the mood that I like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Hey guys, just giving some additional extra commentary to fill in some of the kind of information that wasn't captured on the recording, and also provide some context. Like, for example, one of like the enduring themes of the tour was that this church is basically a mishmash of, you know, all sorts of different styles and, you know, at all sorts of different time periods. And that was something like he repeatedly stressed.
The church was built in sections. You're not going to see a Canterbury Cathedral, you're not going to see a Winchester Cathedral.
Yeah.
You're going to see various kind of restorations.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we don't really know much about church architecture, but even then, I mean, you could kind of see that there was different bits that have been added on at later points.
I said to you earlier that you won't see much medieval stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you will now.
Oh, wow.
This is the actual medieval tiles.
Oh, wow.
There are some over there, but they're much worn.
Oh.
This is quite absolutely remarkable.
Is there any reason why that particular spot was left untampered with? Or just for display?
Absolutely don't know.
Yeah.
And to be honest, one suspects that it's been moved because it's so much in the middle.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking
that is something that we
Yeah.
I can see two different windows. Albeit, obviously, you've got the War Memorial names
Yes.
at the bottom, which is not a British thing, not an English thing, because there's no ranks. It's
Oh, yeah,
all in alphabetical. There are bits and bobs all over the place.
Yeah.
Some are genuine, some are not.
Oh, okay.
We think that's Anglo-Norman.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of weird rodent.
Now these things here, they've been placed by the Victorians. The Victorians love to put statues up and say, hey.
So its teeth got knocked out.
This guy, we think he is somebody that will not go to heaven, hence his pain. But it looks like a lion to me.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a mane.
I made some research, and in fact that's St Mark's Lion. Though I mean this church is renowned for its green men, but that there, although when I first came here they said green man.
Yeah.
Do you need to explain what green man means?
I am a bit confused about Green Man, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a pagan form of worship.
Oh,
Green
okay,
men
yeah.
were the gods of the forest.
Ah.
Now
We went to Avebury Stones just a few days ago, so that was very. And we went to an old pagan burial mound.
That's Georgian. When you're there, you see Georgian windows.
Yeah.
How good is that? Have you got a zoom on there?
Oh, it's very good. Yeah.
Whoa, have a look at this.
There was this whole thing where the guy was trying to get us to film this like skeleton thing, but for the life of me, I couldn't see a skeleton. There were several points where he was just making reference to stuff that was supposedly there, and I couldn't see what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, he's the expert, so if he says it's there, I'm gonna believe him. But it wasn't clear to me.
That's good gear, that. We like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you got it.
Is it that kind of black
Yes,
thing?
yeah.
So the other really funny thing about the tour is that the guy kept complaining about different parts of the church, and also he had a lot of like very strong opinions. Like, he wasn't just saying, "Oh, I don't like this." He was like talking about how like things really annoyed him.
He had the effrontery to actually have his bust put up there.
Yeah.
I am so annoyed. I'm still annoyed about it, to be honest. That woman who has the biggest, that's another thing I hate about this shirt. She has one of the biggest commemorations. She and the cleaner saw a figure, a monk, go from there to there.
Oh. Spooky.
It was, very, very spooky.
And he also had this thing about like insisting that other people would have really strong reactions to parts of the church. And there was this one particular stainless glass window where he was absolutely like, it was like a big part of what he was saying was that people either love it or they hate it. And he was like telling a story about somebody who got like so angry at this stained glass window because they hated it so much.
But people have fallen out. We had one instance that a big American chap, who was an American guy, so-called expert. I hate it when people call themselves experts. Well, he was an American.
Yeah.
And he was big.
Okay.
He was big. And he came here and he got really, really annoyed.
Oh, wow.
Really annoyed.
Oh.
And so much so that he collapsed. And he collapsed right here. And for about 3 seconds I thought, I've never told you this story. For about three seconds I thought, I'll do this today.
I don't know about you, Hannah, but I was just thinking, oh yeah, it's kind of pretty.
Yeah. I feel like stained glass windows kind of all look the same. But yeah, I didn't really see what was so bad about this one.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he's passionate.
Yeah, loves what he does.
It's just a cacophony of ideas. Hark the herald angels sing are demonic.
Yes.
It is an absolute mess. And yet art societies come from all over the country and they'll sit there, and I'll have done my homework on taking them all around here, and all they're concerned about is that damn window.
When was this one?
1956.
So on the subject of stained glass windows, one of the interesting things is that they had these like stained glass windows that were stitched together from stained glass windows that had been broken and destroyed in the Blitz when the Germans bombed Coventry.
Came around, it actually imploded, and people could hear in the nearest shelter. They said, "Hey, that's St. John's gone.
Yeah.
That's another church gone."
So yeah, I guess maybe that was one of the examples of where the stained glass windows actually did look quite a bit different and distinct.
There was a huge flood in
Oh, yeah.
1900, and that just shows you. And basically, if they had raised the windows then, there wouldn't have been any problems with it.
Ah, I see. So it's a matter of hindsight.
Well, yeah. It's never happened since. But
Yeah.
right, do you want to see a part of Coventry which you'll never see?
Yes.
Right, I'll show you. See this beautiful cherry blossom here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was actually installed by an archbishop, a Ukrainian archbishop.
Ah.
We have a lot of Eastern Europeans, people coming. Now there's a big problem about the trees here.
Yeah.
You sometimes get people that are so earnest, and they say, "Oh no, they're American. They come from the colonies.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't have those in a medieval colony." The good part was where the school used to be, public school. I mean, and as I say, it used to all belong to.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's just become.
It's just.
But this to me is worth more than the other side of the church. This really is.
Oh, I can see the Ukraine flag now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to get a young man to go into that tower to raise.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, Hannah, what did you think of the church?
I thought it was very pretty. There was definitely a lot to see, and I did think it was interesting how, like, the church had those little, like, figurines kind of planted throughout the church, like the green men and,
All the random just statues of people.
Yeah, the random faces that guy kept trying to get you to zoom into, and then you didn't even know what you were zooming into.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, and obviously, I mean, it was really nice of them to take the time to show us around. And
very kind.
Yeah, it was a big win. It was a great way to start the trip. It's fair to say. Also, we bought something because the whole thing was free, so everything was free. And I was kind of feeling a little bit like, they're taking a bit of time. So, we could have just given them money, like donated to the church. But I was like, it's kind of the same difference if we buy something, because I'm sure, it's marked up a fair bit. So, bought you a cross necklace. And what happened, Hannah?
So I had the cross necklace and I would wear it for a while after this trip. And then one day, the cross charm fell off of the chain and I lost it. So I still have the chain, but just not the cross, which is very unfortunate.
Yes, although hopefully somebody found the cross and it was an incredible life-changing experience for them. Someone having a
Hopefully.
bad day walked along and they just saw that cross twinkling and they picked it up and are like, it's a sign.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who knows?
Would be nice.
Okay, so we just went to Holy Trinity Church. No, sorry, St. John the Baptist Church. And we're going to go to Holy Trinity Church. We're surrounded by all these old things. And I did just want to look at... So this is called like Liddy's place. And there is like a thing, which is... Just wanted to quickly see. And then we're going to the Watch Museum. Liddy's. A new Liddy's has now been built, and the Garden of Friendship and Peace with roses blooming in its donated by peace-loving people from all over the world. Mass grave of the Men of Liddy's. Oh, there it is. Coventry Watch Museum. Open Tuesday and Saturday, 11 AM to... Oh! Turns out I was wrong anyway. Oh my god. It's closed. Well, I mean, we're planning on being back here at some point anyway, so... Look at that. Sponheim, the heart of the city. Somebody drew a swastika. We're in Spon Street, and it's not really much to do, because you'd think... I don't think they've made the most out of it, because I think it's mostly restaurants, which, spoiler alert, you can't really look around restaurants.
For the record, I really stand by this criticism. So basically this part of Coventry was like a medieval street. So it literally looks, you know, it's like really old part, and that's really interesting, but there's nothing actually on the street. Like, there is no point going to the street apart from just to look at the houses from the outside.
Wow. Building dates. 15th century?
You walk up the street, down the street, and there's nothing actually worth walking into, which is, yes, I do think a big missed opportunity. They didn't even have antique stores. Like, it's literally an old street and they didn't even have antique stores.
We'll probably go to the jewellers, because that's at least something that would be interesting to look at.
Yeah.
And there's the Coventry Watch Museum again, which, see, it's one of those things, especially when, like, the first thing you discover, like, pretty early on, you discover something wrong. You're like, okay, that doesn't bear well, but we'll see. Or bode well. Yeah, anyway, well, yeah, so many restaurants. And it's just like, well, you can't look around there. It's Toro's Steakhouse. Just terrible. They really need to work on that. This could be a much better attraction. Kebabs, fried fries, burgers. Right. There's a gallery, but it's closed, I think.
But fortunately, after this, we headed to the less picturesque, modern city centre, where there was more opportunity for browsing and looking at things. So at least we got our fill of that.
So looking to see what there is at the market. Cockerel, chicken feet. At certain times I could be tempted with a bakery, to be honest, you know. If they had like some delicious pastries. I'm kind of trying to work out like when we've done a circuit. I mean, I know we've kind of moved around a bit, but yeah, it's a bit surprising. It's cool. I will be your lost pal. I can call Betty. Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. Is that how it goes?
And actually, we had an objective because we were both quite cold. It had been hot for the trip so far, but at this point it was getting cold. So our objective was to search around for a good deal on warm clothing. And it's nice to browse with an actual kind of objective rather than just aimlessly.
Maybe I could get myself
Oh, bananas. You know what? That's not a terrible idea. And nice and toasty. 12 quid for a fleece. Just bought a little sleeveless jacket. So I was feeling cold. And I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to find something for... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, see, the thing is I have a limit to how much cash I have. And obviously, yeah, maybe we should just go to a non-marketplace. I mean, I do feel like that was probably a good deal, what I just got there. Like 10 quid for this.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, other than that, well, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Final clearance. I mean, you would. I don't know. I was gonna say you would almost think. Hi. You would almost think that shops would start making jumpers really cheap at this point.
I know what I meant there, but it wasn't a good sentence. What I meant was that, like, because it was approaching summer, jumpers would start going on sale.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Kind of large.
It looks. I mean, in terms of the sleeves, it looks okay. I think that looks alright. I mean, that really doesn't look bad.
No?
Does it feel warmish?
I mean, yeah, it definitely feels soft and warm.
Hanging out by the market while I wait for Hannah to reappear. And then I'm going to try and find Lady Godiva statue. I'm looking up actually. She rode forth, clothed on with chastity. Deep air listened round her as she rode, and all the low wind hardly breathed for fear. This statue is dedicated to the city's benefactress of a bygone age and is presented by Huabasset Green to his fellow citizens, 1949. Apparently, yeah, there should be a thing called the Peeping Tom. There's like a guy peeping out, but I don't know.
Overall, I would say the shopping trip, walking around the city centre, was actually quite fun. Yeah, there were a lot of interesting shops. There was lots of interesting stuff to see, or kind of, just taking the ambiance. I mean, it wasn't the exactly prettiest city centre in the world, but no, yeah, it was fine.
Yes, I would say it's fine.
Tennis? Football? Boxing. Oh, look at that weird building there. The fact there's a big West Orchard thing there, West Orchards, makes me think that's probably another part of the shopping centre. More Poundland. Flannels? Like, that's big.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I would hope they sell flannels. University.
This is nice.
Research never rests.
I like this too.
Oh, bunk bed for 90 quid. Oh, bunk sofa.
Oh, I see.
Double decker couch. So we're in the British Heart Foundation charity shop, which implies that all of the stuff here has been donated second-hand. That's usually what it means if a shop's run by the British Heart Foundation. People donated it to them, so that then obviously people would buy it, and everyone wins. People get rid of furniture they didn't want, British Heart Foundation gets money, and other people get cheap furniture.
Yep.
But you know what wasn't everybody winning? When the Coventry Watch Museum was closed. Ooh, interesting.
So after that, we went to get lunch from a street food place called Hummus House, and it was good. It was cheap and tasty and filling. So
It's a little messy.
yeah, it was messy. That is definitely true. I don't think we really have much footage of us eating it, precisely because if I would have tried to get any footage of us eating it, I would have caked my camera in like hummus and chicken juice and all that kind of stuff. But no, yeah, it was tasty. I mean, you just can't go wrong with Middle Eastern food.
Right, just started raining. Well, no, it was raining and now it's kind of stopped. So we're going to be trying to enjoy our hummus wraps during the low chill period. I don't think there's anywhere particularly like uniquely pretty we could sit. I mean, we could try and sit with a view of the church actually, because it's over there. I mean, there'd probably be a place with a view of it. Okay, Hannah doesn't care. Right. Lunch consumed. And good, tasty, cheap, good value. Filled us up for what? £4 each.
Yeah.
So that's where it's at. Right. There's a sign on the front door, which is not a good indication of, things. Again, they should be open. Please deliver all mail to the post. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Wednesdays to Saturdays. Wow, why is my dates wrong? Oh, goodness me. So, Holy Trinity Church was closed. And again, I mean, according to the sign, this is just a case of, like, me mixing up my dates or whatever. We'll walk along past the church. Either way, right now we're going to the Coventry Cathedral, which was our plan anyway. And indeed, I think it's right in front of us right this second. Yeah, we'll do that. See how long that takes. Maybe it will take ages. Maybe we'll find that we couldn't have even wanted to do Holy Trinity Church. It's playing somewhere over the rainbow. So yeah, there's, for anybody who doesn't know, Coventry Cathedral got bombed in World War II and doesn't have a roof. But I think there's the new building which is there, and it's all one complex. One complex which we are going to explore. Big! Joseph Ashton. So there's the Holy Trinity Church, which we've not been able to get into right now. And that there is the humongous old Church of St. Michael, Cathedral of St. Michael. Is it St. Michael, did it say? The Cathedral of St. Michael, I think. Yeah. Wonder if we can see any green men. I guess those are green men.
Wait, Bailey Lane is something that we...
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's literally just a road to walk down, but we'll walk down it, yeah. Probably on our way to the Herbert thing. Of course, it's kind of funny, because if it hadn't been blown up, it probably wouldn't be as famous as it is.
Yeah.
Tower climb and shop. Looks pretty closed. Not that we were planning on going on it, frankly, but I didn't realise it was an option. Climb it to see how old and new sit together in the heart of the city. I would love to climb it, but I can't. Not even any indication it would ever be open. Alright, there we go, look at that. I bet that cross is made out of rubble or something. As the cathedral had been crucified with Christ, so it would rise again with him. So this is the Blitz Museum. And it was another thing which I was considering going to, but they said, no sorry, Bob. No way, that's open. Unless... Bum, 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 bum. Nope. That's how it would have looked. Which again, you have to say, is like every church.
Yeah.
But this is different. Which means it's better. And also, actually, this is kind of interesting. So apparently, after the cathedral was torn down in the 1500s because of the Reformation, they didn't have a cathedral until 1918. And this used to just be a regular old church. But then they just turned it into a cathedral. Which I don't know if architecturally there's anything necessary for that.
So, Hannah, I'm interested. What was your opinion on the roofless cathedral?
I really thought it was interesting. I've never seen anything like that before, so...
Yes, it's unique.
Yeah. Once in a lifetime sort of thing.
Yeah, although we're probably planning on going to Coventry at some point in the future.
This was one and done.
One and done, sorry, I apologise.
Yeah, no, we'll go there again.
Let's do it! I guess outdoors it gets eroded quicker. To the glorious memory of the officers and men of the 7th Battalion, the Royal Warwickshire Regiment, who fell in the Great War. Presented by the employees of the Standard Motor Company Limited. I wonder if, I would assume they have to do services here sometimes, outdoors.
Yeah.
Hallowed be thy holy name, the home God be in my heart and in my loving. Loving? Weird sentence. Coventry boy. Probably go look at that closer. Chor der Überleben, Quiet of Survivors. Oh. Ah. They don't really look like they've survived. by my reckoning. Et fash of you. Wait, what? Et fatch of
I think no.
you.
Let each.
Oh, let each of you look not
look
to
not
your
to
own interests,
No. Yeah.
but to the interests of others. In gratitude and to commend to future generations the self-sacrifice of all those who served on the home front during the Second World War. Fab. I'm not going to climb all the way out there. What if I climbed up and then fell and then sued them?
You should do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Oh, so that's the outside of it. Okay, yeah. I thought that was just a monument, but apparently it's a building. So I just spoke to a very nice lady who I was not comfortable filming, and she informed me that they do quite regularly have services in the outdoor bit. Okay, so we're going to the quiet chapel now, so you know. I don't know what that says. Mega? It looks like it says mega.
It does, yeah.
Which... Oh, I know. Oh my god. It's... that symbol's omega.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know why it says America over there.
So this is from the Chapel of Unity leaflet. 5 symbols draw us into the mystery of Christ. PX, Christ, Alpha the beginning, Omega the end, fountains of living water, bread of Christ, fish.
Fish.
4 evangelists enfold us in the life of Jesus Christ.
I did just want to look at this. So, that's the chalice, crown of thorns, and the cross. I don't really get why people do like the double cross. Because like, oh, I know why. Sorry, of course. No, I know why. Because that's where it said, like the thing that says like King of the Jews. Because obviously they like wrote a banner above him. Shows what I know.
From the 5 continents, the floor slopes down to the dove, bringing all peoples together in the Holy Spirit. So there we go. Apparently there's a meaning to everything.
There's the guy. He's riding a dinosaur. A brontosaurus. Oh, let's get that. In America, okay, so... I mean, that's not easy to tell what it is. I mean, that's...
Kind of looks like someone sitting, like, Indian style.
Oh yeah, you're right, yeah. It's, yeah. It's like cross-legged person.
Yeah.
It's out there. Don't know why.
Crisscross applesauces, I would say.
And Europe, which is... Well, that's the Greek Parthenon. Oh, and there's the Olympic torch. So there's somebody holding the Olympic torch and whatever that is.
It's a good thing I hold on to all of the leaflets from every place we've ever visited and keep them in a special place forever.
Where's that special place?
I'm afraid, Hannah, that's a closely guarded secret, and I trust you, but I don't know if I can trust all of the many, many people who will watch this vlog.
Them, like, thousands.
Thousands, yeah, exactly, yes. No, I'm joking, I can definitely trust them. I know I can trust them to like and subscribe and get the bell on.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going to be way taller. That they may all be one. It's kind of weird to think that everything in this church is like from like the 60s or whatever. Like that's new. I mean, and actually there's going to be stuff here that's like been moved. This new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another. I just can't get over those massive things there, the organ pipes. Yeah, so this is made from ropes. No, not ropes, beams. Not ropes at all, beams which were destroyed. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the old cathedral was certainly fried.
Good one.
When you're really sad about Jesus dying, but also you're kind of cold, so you don't want to you don't want to take your hands out too much. Authorized personnel only. Okay, good.
So this church also had stained glass windows made out of broken former stained glass windows. So somebody stole somebody else's idea, clearly. This is all the old stained glass from the old cathedral before it got exploded. A medley of medieval stained glass. Its face was broken. Oh, this one's similar, but not broken. That's broken. Lots of cracks. Look at how ugly the view is. This is Coventry. It's just an issue. They need to work on it. Maybe put all their nice stuff together. So you don't.
How they could make it nicer.
I don't know. Right, so we've roughly worked out how everything's going to work. The good, well, kind of like in a way, there's like lots of space that we seem to not be able to get into, even though it seems as if we should be able to get into it. But that does mean that we can now be a bit more, you know, kind of exhaustive in terms of looking at all this stuff because we've got time to do so. These are things which I assume we use to make the cathedral, which makes sense. Stonemason tool. Appreciate their gifts and the many craftsmen and women that made this cathedral a casket of jewels. Pretty beautiful. So that's the Priory of St. Mary's, which apparently doesn't exist. Just click on this, see if there's anything interesting. Yeah, I don't think this is too important. Different people involved in it. The ceremonial scarf is worn, especially with choir dress at evensong. I don't think so. The ruins visited by George V. King George V. Wait, what's that? Old church. I mean, sorry, old cross. Look at his face. This is the cathedral. Oh, sorry. Well, this is the cathedral. It's the chapel. And I think they're just names of people. And the interesting thing is that they decided to rebuild the cathedral the same day that it was, no, the next day after it was bombed. They don't hang about. Well, Hannah, what did you think about the cathedral that had a roof? The roofed cathedral?
Yes. Okay. A little bit different than the non-roof one.
There was one big difference.
Yeah.
The absence of a roof, or sorry, the presence of a roof.
Yes. Right. Yeah, no, I thought the inside of the cathedral was really cool. It's definitely more like updated than I was expecting. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's one thing I think we really need to put the focus on, which is the roof. Actually, you know what's kind of weird? You know, like there are lots of churches that have kind of cool stuff on the roof. The funny thing is, there weren't really very many times when I found myself having to look up. So, you know, the roof really, maybe, you know, they don't want to make the other cathedral jealous. They're like, hey, don't worry, our roof won't be too special.
Right.
But no, yeah, I mean, the thing is, it was kind of like, it also doubled up as kind of a museum kind of thing for the Blitz and, you know, like the idea of Britain persevering even after getting bombed, that kind of stuff. So they had that going on. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was modern. It was, yeah, but it still was pretty. And yeah, I did like that. Definitely running out of time, so Crown of Thorns, I imagine. Yeah, still not exactly a pretty view. Probably not going to film too much else, but it's interesting. Jacob and the Angel wrestling. So again, I didn't want to randomly film that lady, but basically she told us where we can see the evidence of the old priory church, and she made it sound as if it was simple, and you know, I think it's literally just visibly there. And she also made it sound huge, and she explained how that line there used to separate the church's land from the commoners' land, basically, and that therefore St. Michael was built on the commoners' land. Oh, it's private. Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, apparently that down there is the eastern wall. So now let's try and find the western wall. So she was explaining that churches that are cross-shaped, the spire comes out of the center point where one side meets the other. And I reckon, yes, this all makes sense. Okay, yeah, this is it. So maybe we'll have to check this out in more detail later, actually. So I would bet my bottom dollar this is the excavation from when the priory is destroyed. But since it actually looks a bit more interesting than I thought it would be, we'll look at it in more detail after we've been to the Herbert thing, or, well, we'll work something out. Anyway, let's go. Oh, it doesn't look as old as I thought it would look.
So basically, because of the fact that this day hadn't gone completely according to the itinerary, we brought something forward from the itinerary of the next day, which was going to this art gallery.
There's the other side of the cathedral, and here's this. This is we're heading here. This is on the way to or back from the Coombe Abbey.
Oh.
So this is like some kind of industrial museum, giving me flashbacks to the Farnborough place.
Yeah.
But we'll give it a little look. It's like we got to go to the Coventry Watch Museum after all. Look. Yeah, walk through. A woman's role in life was to marry. That's not George Eliot. George Eliot, to answer your question, was a woman who used to write books and went by a man's name, so she would be taken seriously. That's a pretty heavy watch. A pill maker. Many chemists made powder into rods, which they then cut up into pills using a pill maker. I guess that's interesting. Oh, this is interesting. See if it shows up here. It shows an animation. Crimean War medals. And Egyptian campaign medal. Boer War medal. And of course, how could we forget, a watch. It's like the lace making museum. You like things you can play with.
Yeah.
Thomas was a well-to-do ribbon manufacturer. In the space of 5 days in 1860, he and his wife lost 4 of their children to diphtheria. The youngest, Percy James, was just 4 weeks old. Harriet was taken ill and was told she could only get medical help by going to the workhouse. She tried to walk there, but collapsed in a way and had to be carried. She died in the workhouse the next day. Day in the life of a maid of all work. Make and serve supper for family.
Wait, 6 a.m. to 9
Clean
a.m.
kitchen range, light fires. Clean dining room, basically just cleaning. Clean the
9 to
breakfast
12.
stuff, clean bathrooms. Sweep the stairs.
Clean bedrooms.
Clean bedrooms. And so on. Okay, so now we've gone back to the Middle Ages. So I guess there is like a... I mean, maybe it's we start here. I just read. So I think this is the earliest period. So yeah, we've probably been doing this in a weird order, but what I'm realizing now is that basically it starts off here, which is like medieval and Dark Ages. So I'm going to do something I can move. And then eventually it goes all the way over to the Victorian. Well, it seems to jump to the Victorian rather suddenly. But yeah, definitely this is medieval. What does the medieval toilet smell like? Sniff here to find out. I have absolutely no interest in that. Old artifacts. Oh, this would have been for firing arrows. I don't even need to read it. So you put that so it didn't hurt your hands when you draw the string back. And that was there so that you didn't slap yourself on the wrist, basically. Coventry's golden age came to a decline in the 1500s. It played an important role in the English Civil War. And we actually found out, of course, that the reason why it's sent to Coventry is the expression, is because the people who were defeated in the Civil War were sent to St. John's the Baptist in Coventry as like a prisoner of war camp. So that's fun. The end of the war. Anything interesting about children? It's a difficult time.
Yeah.
Evacuation. We should watch the film Good Night, Mr. Tom. Ah.
The most important part.
Anderson Shelter. Oh, you know what? They have one of these. King's Museum. Yeah. Hannah, Mom's coming.
Oh, jeez.
Gotta stay here until we're safe. Whatever shall we do to pass the time? The protection of your home against air raids. Now things are getting better. Rebirth of Coventry Cathedral. We already know all about that. I think this is showing. I mean, I don't really know what, like where we're at now. Seems to be going all over the place. But yeah, we're now at PlayStations and quarters, things like that. So yeah, this is talking about when all the immigrants came over, all at once. Saved sodomy from Ulster. Oh, and now well, this just seems to have nothing to do with it. It's like 1990s, 1980s, and then...
Came back to work as a retinue.
That's not how you dab.
The fact that at least 1 million people marched in London, I think must have had an effect on a huge number of people in Britain who didn't take
Boo Blair.
It freed...
Great spirit and can wish the empire a courageous business.
Lady Godiva. You all know what she did, Hannah? Got naked.
She got naked on a horse.
To lower taxes. Oh wow, there's actually a film. Rex Reason. It's a pretty alpha name. The clock in Broadgate was installed in 53 rather. The figure of Godiva and Peeping Tom appear on the hour every hour. That's the statue. Statue of Godiva in St. Mary's Guildhall.
Overall, actually, the place was called, I think the place was called actually Gallery and Museum. And to be fair, it was a lot more museum than gallery. There were like the paintings of Lady Godiva, but then having said that, that felt more like it was an exhibition on Lady Godiva. But overall, I mean, it was a good museum. Yeah. It was a nice kind of overview of Coventry history.
Tiny room for the old masters. Like, this is quite a dramatic contrast from some of the other places where it's just like huge, just endless things of old paintings. All of the works displayed here belong to a European tradition of painting. Some of them hung for many years in St. Mary's Guildhall. Warwick Castle. It's funny. Well, it doesn't always work.
So, Hannah, what did you think of the costumes?
Oh, yeah, that that was different.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it was just like the costumes were really extravagant in a way where it's like, well, obviously they qualify as art just because of how absurd they are, but I don't know if there was any necessary like kind of artistic merit on display. It's just like, well, anyone can throw a whole load of stuff onto a mannequin, and I guess there's, that make it look interesting, but it wasn't that artistic.
Yeah.
The important thing is, though, I did get to roast the artist's politics.
Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. Russia out of Ukraine. Oh, so controversial. Right. So, this is Lady Herbert's garden, and I'm running low on battery, so we're going to walk around it. I'm going to film as little as I can get away with filming, but basically that's the main gate, and there's another gate up there, which if it looks fantastically interesting I might film as well, but yeah, we're just going to walk around and just assume that it's as pretty as the other gardens we've been to. Like your boys. Lady Herbert's garden. And there's a little cherry tree. And this is just another quick shot. Again, running low on battery. And I do want to film a bit more, so... bye! So the gate is part of the... it's an old monument, and it's part of the old city wall, which was demolished by orders of Charles II. And so the gate stands, and the gate stands over on the other side too. We're on the bus. Okay, so we made it to the woods, which is where we wanted to go. You know what, actually, it's interesting. Like, it's kind of very... like, it's very overgrown, but in kind of an interesting way. And, you know, I'm kind of glad we made it. There's some wildlife around. Yeah, and I don't know why they didn't know what I said when I said on the bus, Hornbeam Drive, and then we stopped at Hornbeam Drive and didn't know what Hornbeam Drive was. That's fine. Anyway, I'm not sure about the battery. I might run out. I kind of want to run it until it's dead. Not right now, but I mean, like, you know, get home and be like, oh, you know. So I don't want to stop filming and then just be like, oh, I didn't film as much as I wanted, and then I've still got some battery left. I don't know, it might mean though that if I film until I'm dead here, maybe something really interesting happens. It will happen to be on my phone or Hannah's phone. Anyway, I'm going to walk around again while I'm, you know, I'm not going to film too much, so, you know, just there you go. Oh, it says motorbikes are too noisy. We literally just saw some people on motorbikes. Anyway, at some point we're going to head to Pigswood. This has been, I think, quite nice. Hannah doesn't entirely agree. I mean, admittedly, you can hear the roads right now.
You'd like the weather to be better.
I don't mind the weather. Oh, I'm so silhouetted. Bad filmmaking. Behold, a destroyed motorbike. And also, it's a little bit rainy. We're heading over to there, and then once we reach the end of these woods, we're going to head to Pigswood. I'm wearing my mask because, speaking of destroyed motorbikes, there was somebody with a motorbike who drove past, and I do not like the smell of exhaust. Very sensitive to it. Okay. We're in Pigwood, where this little piggy here will feel right at home. Okay, I just thought I was recording. My battery ran out of battery. Sorry, camera ran out of battery. I could have bought a replacement battery, but no. Anyway, so basically, we're in the woods. It's fun. Except it's raining, and you know, I can see now that is a little bit annoying. It's quite nice, and like the layout is quite nice. We need to kind of work out a basic kind of circular route, which I'm probably just going to map using my satellite view on my phone, where it will roughly track our location. I don't think it had any kind of map at the front of the woods showing the different routes, which you would expect a nice woodland route to have. Okay, so yeah, not going to film anything until we're back at the hotel. I don't know. I'm super tired. I'm so tired. Oh my lord. Okay, so we looked around Pigswood. It was interesting. The reality is that nothing else is open then. We've got to hang out in Coventry until our food anyway, so we might as well go. So we took the bus. There was a whole weird thing where, like, I mentioned the explicit name of the station, and they said, we don't go there. And then they asked me for a road, and I was like, okay, wait, I'll give you a road then. So I gave them a road. Then they were like, oh yeah, we go there. And then, yeah, guess what? The exact station I mentioned, we got off there. That's exactly where we got off, so I don't know. And let me tell you, okay, I felt like it was right next to the wood. There were actually two woods. So the first wood, we kind of did a little route. It was great. I've included a lot of that stuff already. But the second wood was in the Pigs Hill Wood. And yeah, so it was fine. And then we were able to get a bus back pretty early. We ended up being early to the restaurant. And they were able to accommodate us, and let me tell you, they were able to accommodate us because it was very empty, which is, you know, no judgment. You know, I think it makes sense. It was just a random Tuesday evening, and not even that early. Sorry, not even that late. And I think in the summer people tend to eat late, but we didn't. And the reason we didn't is because there's nothing else to, you know, like once all of the attractions have closed, which is actually around 4 to be honest, there's nothing really else to do in Coventry. So yeah, basically we ate up. Okay, time to head back. The Uber was 1 minute. Like as soon as I booked the Uber, it was 1 minute. So we got here nice and early, which was great because suddenly, as soon as we started eating in the restaurant, I want to try and finish this before the commercials finish and the show comes on again. As soon as we started eating in the restaurant, I was so tired. I was just so insanely tired, and it did make it hard to like kind of have a good atmosphere for the restaurant. The restaurant was fine. I wouldn't rate it massively. Like, the food was nice, but also the chips were a bit overdone, so I don't know. They're like kind of like too dark brown for chips. And Hannah said her bacon was too salty. So then we got in here, and there was lots of stuff. Obviously, my camera ran out of battery, so I couldn't film the approach to Coombe Abbey. And indeed, I don't think... Well, I'll show you. Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't film the approach, couldn't film anything about it really until now when I'm filming this. And I'm going to hopefully squeeze in a room tour without running out of too much energy. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically the day. And now we're just going to watch the TV and chill. And I'm hoping to be able to make the most of actually being here. Yeah, I just realised that I actually do have a limited amount of space on this card, so I don't want to film too much. But alright, we're going to do the room tour. So this is the door, you come in here. I basically am like kind of almost... that's a heater to warm up because it was a bit cold. This is where we have extra covers, love that for us. We can hang our stuff up here, which to be honest I might do in a second. That's some things. I can't show you the bathroom because Hannah's in there. That's where my battery was just charging. This is where the tea is. So it's there. Kettle, make coffee. Oh, the shows bed, come on, there, that's the TV. My shoes, which I was very happy to take off. This is where we can sit to watch the TV. This is the bed, there. That's the kind of dressing area. And, oh yes, outside is still bright enough that you can see that's a little kind of outdoor sitting area, which I'm sure we will take advantage of. Goodness me, it's nice. Yeah, so yeah, basically what I'm kind of thinking actually is trying to some way put more of a focus on actually doing stuff here a little bit more rather than just like stressing to get out into town. We'll see whether or not that works out. Anyway, so Hannah's up. Oh, sorry,
Hello.
out in the shower. And I already did the tour, but we have, so yeah, I was spent a little time sat in that chair watching the TV. QI, that's what we're watching right now. I am realising, of course, that, you know, there is an upper limit to what one can do in the evening here. I feel like this is really giving me a double chin. Oh, also, sorry, I found this, a really cozy, fluffy, oh, sure it is.
Yeah, probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, until they pay us money.
Yeah.
A really cozy, fluffy, yeah, I'll just blur it out. Really cozy, fluffy, dressing gown, and it's like I actually really like it. So I'm very happy with it. I can't believe Hannah's not wearing one.
Yeah, I'm
really cozy.
layered up.
And honestly, like it's only like 9:30, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my chamomile tea, which I usually make at like 11:30.
He's all ready.
Yeah, it's not going to be long until I get under these covers and get kind of hit the hay. But I have realized, I mean, the thing is, there's an upper limit to what one can do in the evening here, because, you know, like, and that's just life in general. But yeah, basically it's just watch TV because you don't have a laptop or anything like that. So yeah, I'm definitely willing to countenance the possibility of an early night and maybe an early start, but I'm only going to set the alarm for 8. But if I wake up way early, I mean, if we both wake up way early in that, yeah, I honestly can picture myself like being in let's go to bed state of mind by 10. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Anyway, but we're both really tired, so hopefully it's has the effect of making us not so tired tomorrow. Yeah, so it's a really nice room. Look up. 4-poster bed. I mean, I suppose in theory you can actually draw the curtains on that. That's just, I wonder. I've never really bothered to do so, but yeah. Okay, that's
anticlimactic.
Incredible. I'm also trying to use pretty much. You know, I'm using this water thing. I just like the idea of using. I think it turns on the light actually. Oh, blimey.
Oh, wow. That is
Yep, that's a light.
interesting.
So yeah, we've got a light too.
Yeah, basically, I'm trying to use as much stuff for this swinging things with ghost reflection for a minute. Yeah, I'm trying to use as much stuff like from the hotel itself because I feel like I'm getting more of like the hotel experience. Like, well, I should use everything that you can use at the hotel just to make sure I get through it all. Anyway, I'm going to start recording now. I don't think I'm coming close to using up all of my data, but yeah. All right, bye. Oh wait, Hannah, I forgot. Do you want to say goodnight?
Oh. Good night.
Love you.
Love you. Sleep tight.
Make sure you stay tuned for day 2.
Yes, where there will be more walking, more exploring, more food,
More mood.
more tude from me.